Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second segment, episode 299 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we thought we'd look at the lighter side of real estate, and let's talk about some of the craziest things that we have seen while either previewing or showing a house. Jeff, give it to me. I got some good crap.
Yeah, I think one of this was really kind of one of the scariest times that happened to me. There's two that I'm going to talk about. One is I was a baby realtor, and it was actually I had reached out to the man who had my house listed when I bought it. That it was kind of one of the impetus guys to get me into real estate or get me into real estate. And he had this really interesting home up here on Inwood Road between Walnut Hill and Royal.
All right.
South of where you live. And it was on that big lot that's right there on the curve. And it was just this really interesting older 2-story house. And I really wanted to see the inside of it. And so he had it listed. I called him one day and I was like, Jack, you don't have to do a special showing for me, but when you're going to go show it, call me and let me know, because I really want to come and look. I'll come before or after, whatever. So nice. We go over, he calls me, we go over and look at it. We're kind of walking through, and this is a foreclosed property. It's vacant. And we walk through, and there's a Coke can sitting on the countertop. And he reached over and, kind of to pick it up and move it off somewhere out of sight. And the can was cold. And it was a warm day, which told us there was somebody else in that house. So we just turned around and walked right out. I never did get to see the rest of that house.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. All
right. Here's mine. Here's one of mine. So first time I'm ever meeting clients, they have contacted us via a house that we have online. They fly in, grab an Uber. We're going to look at 9 houses that day. They meet at the first one. Introduce myself, hand them a list of everything we're going to see with all the documentation that they need. We make nice walk in. This young couple is just moving here. Walk in, and I'm kind of going through my spill. And I notice that it looks like maybe some of the workers have left something in this recent flip that looks like wrappers and whatnot. Don't think anything about it. Move over and look at the garage. The garage door was open, and there's a bike in it. That's so weird. Why is there a bike in here? We then go down the hall, look at the first bedroom, and there's like a pile of clothes. And it's still
laying on the floor?
Yes, and it is still, I am still not stacking up. The cold can none of this is like told me someone is in there. So he walks into the primary, she and I walk into the second bedroom, and as we come out, he's coming and has a white look on his face, and he goes, and I remember the hair on my arm stood up, and I stepped back and I go. And we both walked out as fast as we could, locked the door. I called the agent immediately. I said, there is someone in your house that doesn't belong there.
You got a squatter.
Basically, but it's scary. And I was like, welcome to Dallas. I don't know how. It was terrible. I threw me off my game for a minute.
Well, and the good thing is you have nowhere to go but up.
Exactly. But we did find him we didn't find him a house that day. You found him a house the following weekend. I didn't. You found it that week, next weekend. What's your other one?
That was funny. So I trying to think of what a funny one is. I've been in houses that have like a hidden basement that the listing agent doesn't tell you about.
I don't like that.
I don't either. You just kind of stumble upon it and then you end up going down, and that's kind of weird. I've had a gun pulled on me
in a house.
I loved working Saturday mornings, and so I would either take phone time. That tells you how long ago that was. I would take phone time on Saturday mornings, or I would be working with buyers that I'd hopefully picked up from the weekend before. Okay. So, morning showings are always they're always kind of questionable, because did they really get the phone call? Did they really, are they really going to be up, especially if it's a tenant occupied property? And So we went to this one house, and I'm going through my normal little practice of knock, 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 knock on the door, ring the doorbell, knock, 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 knock on the door. Didn't hear anything. Open the door, realtor, realtor. Just
I do that. I
come
yell
on.
that all the time.
I come, it's the way to do it because I don't want to startle anybody. Well, we looked at the whole downstairs of this condo, and we went upstairs, and I opened the master bedroom door, and there was a man laying there in the bed, turned over and had a gun pointed at me. I shut the door real quick, and I said, realtor, realtor, realtor. And we just left after that. And so, I went and called the listing agent and filled them in on what was going on. I don't know what happened after that, but that's.
So here's a funny one. And it wasn't so much the actual listing, it's what the client said. So allegedly, this house was vacant. No, it was vacant. Allegedly, it was owned by one of the owners of Condom Sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is the 1970s. It's over there at Hillcrest, north of Royal. And we walk in, and it's a 70s. It is a total 70s house. It's kind of got that step down conversation pit living room, shag carpet. And it is covered in mirrors. Everything is mirrored. Like, it does not look like there's ever been anyone under the age of 18 in that place. And one of the guys goes, it looks like there's been a lot of coke done in this place. I was like, that is a true story. One time, this is you and I did this one. You and I were showing Melissa, and we were in a really nice house near Brookhaven Country Club. And we walk in, she's got 2 kids with her. And we're all, when you got 2 kids, you got all hands on deck.
They're running, yeah.
And I looked up and saw, as you come in from the garage, there's a little platform. And on that platform, there was a hot pink pistol. And it caught my attention because it was hot pink. And I thought, that looks like a really good replica, but it looks like a toy gun. Look closer. No. It is a real pistol, and it's hot pink. And that's immediately when you and I both went and told Melissa, hey, there is a gun in here. We need to make sure the kids don't touch it because it looks like a toy. So that was one of the ones that was a little nerve-wracking. I'm glad we caught it, but woof, it was a lot.
I think the most interesting real estate transaction, in this way that I've ever done was, there was a woman that lived at River Oaks, and this was before you and I were together, and it may have been before Heather and I worked together. But she was a dominatrix, and she had the cross set up in her secondary bedroom. Did we work together?
No, we didn't work together. I'd have called.
She had the cross set up in her secondary bedroom, and that was where her clients came to be treated the way they wanted to be treated.
You showed the house, and it had that still set up?
Yes, she would not. She said, I am not ashamed of what I do. And if somebody sees this and doesn't, I did not photograph that room.
Oh, no.
But it was, she was just adamant about who she was. And she was like, if somebody don't want to buy it because of that, they don't deserve to buy it. We sold it.
I'm not even going to talk about it here. If you want to hear about this next story, you have to take me out for a beer. It was the first transaction I ever did, and it was a referral from Stacy Wilson. And I guarantee you
can't tell that story here.
I guarantee you that transaction almost made me rethink, what was I doing? I was like, no, I can't do another transaction like that. That's the most insane thing I've ever done. It was all legal, but it was too much on your first transaction.
You were chasing a lot of people down on that one.
I was so angry I didn't even go to the closing. That's terrible.
So anyway, I hope you found that funny. Hope that's kind of showed a little bit lighter side of our business. So.
It is a lighter side. It's great. We wouldn't change it any other way. Hope you found it fun, as Jeff was saying, and just remember, we want to be your realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.